Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a deck unboxing for you of the Kuan Yin Oracle. This deck is by Alana Fairchild with artwork by Zeng. As always, I hope I pronounced both of those names correctly. This is a relatively older deck, if I'm not mistaken. I actually think it might be one of Alana Fairchild's earlier decks, but it is new to my collection. I've known about this deck for quite some time. I just never really felt a pull towards it, but recently that has changed. I saw it a couple times in a local metaphysical shop that I pop into from time to time, and it kept kind of catching my attention. And after looking into it a little bit online, watching a flip through, I decided I would give it a try. I have a couple of Alana Fairchild's decks, and to be honest, I find them to be so beautiful, so profound, so deep. I think that there's a lot, obviously all decks have a lot of effort put into them, but I think Alana Fairchild really brings something special to her decks that is very powerful. So I'm really excited to get into another one of her decks and have another one to work with. So if you are interested in seeing the Kuan Yin Oracle, keep watching and let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna take the plastic wrap off. That's my proof that I didn't tear into it before recording. But so the thing with me that's interesting, and it's why I don't do unboxings very often, is that I don't really get decks on a whim entirely. I usually watch at least one flip through before I commit to a deck. So I think that's why I don't do a ton of these, because I feel like I wonder if my first impressions are a little dulled because I've already seen the cards before. But I was thinking about this, and I actually feel like every time I get a new deck, even if I've seen the cards online beforehand, it is a very exciting experience, and I kind of forget about some of the cards, so I'm going to try to do these a little more when I get new decks. I think it's still worth kind of getting that first impression. And it's a good way to kind of showcase the deck on my channel and get some of your guys' thoughts outside of just reviews. It's a slightly different variation of the same type of tarot tube content. Okay, so the box has this nice matte finish to it. The letters on it are kind of shiny, so they pop off of it nicely. This is published by Blue Angel, has your standard Oracle deck Blue Angel type of box. And then if you want to pause this here and read what it says on the back, it's a 44 card deck. I am really excited to see this artwork in person. Getting in, you have this really very feminine, pretty light pink. Sorry, there's kind of some shadows I wasn't realizing before now. Really pretty light pink color inside the box. I really like that. The standard Blue Angel piece of paper that I always keep in the deck for some reason. Does anybody else do that? I always keep it in there. I feel like it protects the cards for some bizarre reason. And then we have the little guidebook. We'll get into this in a moment. Ooh, I love that the artwork is really big on the back, because usually these are not in color, which this one is not, but I love this photo on the back of the guidebook. That's really nice. So here are the card backings. I am really loving this card backing. It's so beautiful. The cards have a really nice matte cardstock to them. I'm pretty sure this deck originally had a very glossy cardstock. I know some people like that better, and I've actually heard that this deck in particular, people think the artwork just it pops more with the glossy cardstock. Nowadays, most decks are printed on matte cardstock, so this is what I'm used to, and I do like the way that it feels. So we do have a border, it looks like. Oh, the border changes color, it seems. I had not noticed that in... See, this is why, even though I watched a flip through, the first impressions, you still notice things that you don't notice in the videos sometimes. So here we have our first card, Bamboo Moon. This is really beautiful. Wow. This is really incredible artwork. I think that's why I was drawn to finally get this deck. I really didn't feel a pull to this deck for a very long time, and I think it's just because I never really felt a pull to work with Kuan Yin before now. This is the one that's on the back of the guidebook. So beautiful. But I don't know why recently I just kept seeing this deck and feeling a pull towards it, so maybe I am meant to work with her now. I read a little bit about Kuan Yin online before I purchased this deck just to see maybe why I was being drawn to it. And from what I read, I think that this will be a great deck for me to work with and connect with her very compassionate energy. That was something that I definitely took away from reading a little bit about her. I love the colors in this deck. Everything is very rich and kind of darker colors mixed with these very light pastels. It's a really beautiful color palette. It's a very kind of moody deck in a way. So beautiful. This is stunning too. This artwork is just incredible. And some of these pieces, I'm not sure. I'm going to look up this artist. I feel like I've seen some of these depictions of Kuan Yin before outside of this deck. So I wonder if this artist is particularly well known for his Kuan Yin artwork. Gorgeous. Look at this. Ugh. What I really love about this deck so far is how very feminine it is. This is beautiful with all the different hands, or arms, I should say. Many hands of the goddess. I wonder if there's any significance. I'm going to look in the guidebook after I finish flipping through these to the different colored borders, or if it's just whatever kind of goes with the cards best. Because it does look like there's a pattern of some sort, perhaps. Oh, maybe not. I wonder if it's just whatever complements the card best. This type of border doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like the border on this deck because it has a little bit of a design to it, and I feel like it just goes really well with the cards. Their artwork, I mean. This is beautiful. I will say I feel like, though I prefer the feeling of matte cardstock, I have Blue Angel Oracle decks that have the glossy cardstock, and I feel like these tend to stick together a little more, so that's just something to be aware of. I love this. Radiant Moon of Compassion. I feel like I've seen several cards referring to the moon, so I wonder if she is a more lunar goddess. I'm gonna see if there's anything about that in the guidebook as well. Oh, wow. That is really beautiful. Here's a mention of the sun, though, so maybe she's not uniquely lunar. This is incredible. It looks like she's diving into water. Look at all the detail. So like I said, I know this is an older deck, but I mean, oftentimes when a deck has been out for quite some time and it's still available to purchase, there's a good reason why. So obviously sometimes really incredible decks go out of print and it's very unfortunate we don't get them in time. But a lot of times when a deck is very popular, it stays in print for a long time. So actually, let me check really quick and see if the box says... It says copyright 2012, and this printing is from 2022. Also, sorry if you hear snoring. I just realized my dog, he's sleeping next to me here, and he's snoring a little, and I'm just used to it, so I don't hear it sometimes, so I apologize if you hear snoring in the background. That's just my dog. He is catching some Z's, taking a nice little nap. This is so beautiful. I love how the lotus flower kind of pops. It's so delicately colored. I love this. This really is such incredibly beautiful artwork. I'm really curious to see if this artist has done any other decks. This is stunning. So I'm really liking the artwork, obviously, and I'm really excited to see what kind of messages are in the guidebook of this deck, just because the images are so incredibly powerful. Love that. What a beautiful deck. I'm trying to think, are my other Alana Fairchild decks also matte? Yes, they both are. I have two. I have the Mother Mary Oracle, and then I have the Isis Oracle, and they are both matte. I don't know why I'm feeling like this one might be, it's probably just because it's new. It feels like it might be a little harder to shuffle than the others for some reason, but it's a new deck, so that's probably why. Let's take a quick peek at the guidebook. So she gives you a little bit of a feeling for Kuan Yin here. So your classic, you've got how to use the Oracle, suggested card spreads. It looks like there's a mantra for Kuan Yin. And then here are the card messages. So let's look at, let me see. Nectar of the Lotus. Let's see. It's card 20. So with Alana Fairchild, one of the reasons why I love her decks is because her write-ups are so thorough. They usually have either journal work or visualizations or something like that. Some sort of additional work for you to do with the card that I really enjoy, and I just find her messages to be so beautiful and deep. But often her write-ups are a little longer, so I'm not going to read all of this, but this does, I'll read this little piece right here, and then it looks like with this card you have healing. So the card is called Nectar of the Lotus. So you have obviously her explanation of the card, what you're seeing in the card, and then the meaning behind it, and then you have healing with the Nectar of the Lotus, so healing with this card, and then prayer of the Lotus Nectar, so that's nice. I'm wondering if that is the same for all of the cards in this deck, if she does healing and then prayer. Yes, it looks like that is what you, well, this one is a little different here, receiving divine blessing from the Princess of the Autumn Harvest, and then the prayer. So it looks like you get the prayer and something else along with it. It looks like it's typically healing. The one just said receiving, but maybe that's something about the meaning of that particular card. Yeah, it looks like it's all healing and a prayer. So you get a healing message and a prayer with each card. So for this one that I'm using as an example here, the Nectar of the Lotus, very beautiful card. The Divine Mother wishes that those who are meant to feed others be well fed too. Your devotion to helping others has the effect of squeezing the cosmic heart chakra of the Divine Mother. From her heart drips nectar, sweet, sustaining, life-affirming energy that feeds you and allows you to nourish many souls like a sacred chalice that overflows when you are full, well, and vital. The feeding of others happens effortlessly. You are guided to be fed now, fed with divine nectar from the heart of the mother. So that gives you kind of a little idea of her style of writing and how she explains the cards. So this is kind of one of the special things about Alana Fairchild's decks, is that her guidebooks, her messages are just, like I said, very profound, very beautiful, very impactful, and kind of sometimes spooky accurate for what's going on in my life or things that I'm feeling when I work with my other Alana Fairchild decks. So I'm curious to see if this one will have that same effect. So we'll see, but that tends to kind of be the case with her decks. I'm really excited to work with this, do a reading with it, and see what kind of messages come through, and I'm just excited to kind of familiarize myself with Kuan Yin. I think through this oracle, this will be a really great way for me to familiarize myself with her. So let me know your guys' thoughts, and if any of you already have this deck, I would love to know what you think of it, how it reads for you. So that is today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already and you're interested in tarot and spirituality, things within that realm, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and join along on the journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care and be well. Bye guys.